Hi everyone, in this video we will go over everything, and I mean everything we know so far about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So grab a snack, a drink, maybe put on some pants, and let's get into it. So what do we know so far? Well, if you watch the reveal cinematic, which is playing in the background here, you know that we play as a Viking, and that the Vikings were misunderstood by the Anglo-Saxons, or the English, at this time. They perceived Vikings to be brutish and uncivilized killing machines that pillage without any regard for anyone. Basically, what most people, and myself included, always thought of Vikings as. They used to come in, they used to kill everyone, take whatever they wanted, and leave. But that is not what the Norse were like, according to the history that Ubisoft are going to tell in Valhalla. Basically, from the trailer commentary video that they released, they talk a lot more about settlements. They say that settlements play a big role in the game. You are the leader of the settlement, and you will need to make decisions in all aspects of the settlement. They also go on to describe you as the leader of the Norse people. You will lead a clan of Norse people to flee Norway's endless war and dwindling resources. You will build a new home in England. You will need to construct, customize, and upgrade your settlement with new buildings like barracks, blacksmith, and tattoo parlors. You know what that means? Customizable tattoos. All the while recruiting new members. It sounds like Shadow War a little bit. If anyone has played Shadow War, basically you used to recruit orcs into your keeps, and you used to upgrade your keeps and make them stronger to hold more and more of the land in Mordor so you could fight Sauron. But in this case, it's Vikings and humans and not orcs, and will likely be much more developed than the system in Shadow War, because in Shadow War you didn't really get to customize buildings per se. You didn't get to choose when they upgraded and so on. So that's going to be interesting. The trailer shows a Norwegian settlement as you're leaving Norway at this point. There will also likely be quests that you need to do before going into big battles. Like they show the ritual in the trailer, you may need to do something like a sacrifice, or you might need to do a quest that curries favor with a certain god, in this case Odin. The game starts in Norway, like I mentioned, and moves to England. But back then, like we discussed slightly, it wasn't really England. It was more like a lot of different kings, Anglo-Saxon kings, that were controlling each part of what is present-day England. And you can play as Ivor, who is the main character of Valhalla, and you can play as male or female. So they've hinted that both of them, well, they haven't hinted, they've explained that both of them are canon. So you can play as female Ivor or male Ivor. They're both canon, but they didn't say how they're both canon. Assassin's Creed Valhalla takes place towards the end of the 9th century, a time when Norse tribes were leaving their homes in Scandinavia and sailing to the collection of fractured kingdoms known as Anglo-Saxon England. So it's here, during this age of transition, that you'll take the role of Ivor and lead your people to a new land in search of a new home. And you'll embark on Valhalla's epic Viking journey. You'll lead deadly raiding parties, fight in massive battles. But the game actually starts in 873 AD, so after the death of Christ, which is the 9th century. And this is when the Vikings were settling and integrating into England. So they'd raided and stuff before, but this is when they actually started integrating and settling there. So if you look at any town in England today with an ending of Thorpe or by, pronounced B, B-Y, pronounced B, that was probably a town where the Norse or the Vikings settled. So just keep that in mind if you're English. There's a lot of towns out there that they might have settled in. And the bad guy in this is going to be Alfred the Great. He was the king of Wessex in that time. And he was known as Alfred the Great because, I'll just go slightly into it. I've done some research on this, and I'm probably going to do a video on him separately here. But he was known as Alfred the Great because of his intellect. And he wasn't the strongest warrior, but he was one of the smartest. And he was one of the only kings that actually pushed the Vikings back during that time. So he's going to be an adversary that we're going to have to deal with. And yeah, like I said, I'll do another video on him and all other characters and their backgrounds and where I think they come from and what they are going to be based on, which historical figures. So there are also 3 other kingdoms of the Saxons that the game deals with. So you'll be able to travel to these, and I'm guessing you'll either form alliances or you will basically destroy them and take them over as you gain more and more power. So these are Mercia, Northumbria, and East Anglia. So you'll get to play in those as well as Wessex and obviously Norway. And then I'm guessing you'll probably get to go into Egypt a little bit. And you'll also probably get to go into um, Italy and so on. So Ivor and his Vikings, or her Vikings, will use longships for traversing rivers really fast. So the longships aren't really going to be for naval battles. So you're not going to be able to do naval battles like we have done in Assassin's Creed Odyssey or in Black Flag. You're not going to be sitting there shooting arrows or cannons or spears at other ships, because that's not what the Vikings used their longships for. What they used them for was to get in and get out really quickly and attack and take as much stuff as they wanted, and for trade, obviously. So that's why in this game you will get longships, but it probably won't have, and I doubt very highly, or I doubt it. I'm pretty sure, almost 100%, that we will not have any major naval battles or anything like that, because you're basically going to be going on the rivers. And there's going to be 2 different types of battles, like we discussed previously. And these are going to be raids and epic battles. Raids will be planned out at your settlement, and then you'll go out and you'll do them. I'm pretty sure you'll probably have some automated raids too. I would be surprised if they didn't do that, because that way you could get some more resources, or they may want you to be involved in each one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do. And then you'll also have the epic battles, like from Odyssey, where you've got like the 50 or 100 people fighting. And for weapons, what we learned in the trailer was you can basically dual wield anything. Axes, spears, swords. You can mix and match. So you could have spears, swords, or swords and axes, and shields and axes, or shields. You can dual wield shields now, again. So that's pretty awesome. And yeah, so the other thing that's interesting is in the trailer, he talks about Odin and Odin being favorable to them. And when you see Odin, it looks like an assassin with a white beard, maybe Alexios, maybe it can't be. It wouldn't be Alexios, I guess. Well, it could be, because I mean he isn't present. I don't want to say no spoilers. I won't get into it. Yeah, and there's also a raven that flies out, and the raven is. It symbolizes Odin, and he used to have 2 ravens. One was known as Unin, and the other one was known as Munin. And the raven is what we are going to be using rather than an eagle in Valhalla. And that's what you see in the trailer. The big guy that you see, I initially, when I saw him, I thought of the big Templars that you fight in Assassin's Creed, the original, or even in Assassin's Creed 2. So those are really tough enemies, and they have usually heavy weapons, and they're pretty hard to beat. And in this game, in Valhalla, they call this guy a Ringleader. And according to them, he's got some special abilities. He can rally the troops on the battlefield, so he's probably a good idea to take out first, because you don't want him to rally his troops. And he will have other abilities too. We just don't know what they are yet. So that should be interesting. And in the trailer, you do get to see the hidden blade, which is pretty awesome. And they did say that you get the hidden blade relatively early in the game. So it's not like you won't encounter assassins for a while. My guess is you will encounter them as soon as you land in England, because the Templars are probably trying to take power at this point in time as well. And in the trailer, the guy that you see, the advisor next to Alfred the Great, I think is a Templar. And that's just my hunch, and we'll see in the game. We'll see what happens. And we also know that there will be many different mounts in the game. So in the Ultimate Edition, they already said that you have the wolf mount. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to mount horses, and, well, obviously you'll be able to mount horses, and what else could you possibly mount? I'm just trying to think here. Maybe bears, but I doubt they will let you mount bears. It would be going too far, I think. And you'll be able to customize like crazy your character. So you'll have tattoos, maybe even haircuts. And also, you might even be able to do face tattoos skin tattoos, whatever. And I'm pretty sure they'll keep the transmog feature in this game, so you will be able to wear the armor and have different armor look on top. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything we know so far about the game. So keep it locked on my channel for more AC Valhalla and AC Odyssey content. Like, subscribe, share, you know, the usual. Oh, and make sure you follow me on Twitch. I stream there a lot these days. Mostly Call of Duty Warzone, but we'll be switching to AC Odyssey. I need to finish the DLCs before the release of Valhalla, so definitely check me out there, follow me there, and I'll see you all next time.